I am not accustomed to helping your party do anything.
Yep.
But let me give you some advice. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen.
This is a song for all the good people. Come on.
I am going to apologize ahead of time because you are about to witness the most cringe and most recent Democrat dancing meltdowns, and we also have some singing meltdowns from the Democrats. And by the way, other Democrats are also very upset with this. And we will go over Elon Musk supposedly having a fight with Donald Trump's cabinet. Now, before we start this video, please like the video. It's the #1 way you can help this channel, and it helps others see the videos as well. Let us begin.
That TikTok trend, I don't even know where to begin. I'm not sure why this is necessary. I mean, there is like serious stuff happening in this country, but that seems to be just inviting ridicule.
So when you think about TikTok as a trend, we are trying to reach out to different people and different voters. And the woman who produced this is an influencer.
Okay, so I'm going to play you guys these dancing videos from the Democrats, and I apologize, I cannot play the background music due to copyright. However, without the background music, this just makes it even more funny. Again, keep in mind, these are literally members of government who are all claiming we are in a constitutional crisis, and they are making TikTok dancing videos. This video has the background music of the Choose Your Character from Super Smash Bros. And this next video is even worse. I mean, they are literally now in the building where they're supposed to be making policies, and the background music to this video is we are in a government takeover. Yeah, that dance move is wild. Again, I apologize I can't play the background music, but I actually think this is even more funny just to watch this insanity.
So this is lighthearted, it's fun. And every time you do something creative, you're going to get criticism, right?
I don't get it. Like, I don't get it. I mean, maybe you will get 7 million eyeballs, but what is the point?
I am not accustomed to helping your party do anything.
Yep.
But let me give you some advice. This was the dumbest thing I've ever seen. And if you read the comments today, Lord have mercy. Your party has a 21% approval rating right now, congressional Democrats.
Well, let's talk
according to
about
the
fixing what's
Quinnipiac.
wrong. Donald Trump is doing nothing for the American
people. And he has a
people.
50% approval rating.
But he's doing
beating you
nothing
by
for the
30
American
points.
people.
Now look, you can leave your comments down below how you feel about all of this, but even Donald Trump, he was making TikToks as well, but the biggest difference I see in his TikToks, they all have to do with the message of what he's going to do for the country, or he's promoting a podcast he was going to be on. And one thing I want to point out is he actually stopped making TikToks. I don't know why. He's probably actually working and not making these dance videos, but again, you can leave your comments how you feel about TikToks or these Democrats making dancing videos.
Today, Texas Congressman Al Green led a group of Democrats singing "We Shall Overcome."
This is a song for all the good people. Come on.
To find the authentic voice.
Exactly.
It is not about performance. It is not about that. I want to talk to the people who are in my family, who are my friends, who are hurting in this country, and ask them, what do you need and what do you want from us right now? And then work to develop policies to deliver.
I never expected in a million years you would have CNN news anchors actually turn on Democrats and say, what are you guys doing? What is up with the theatrics? Why are you guys making these dancing videos? We want you to make some policies and actually do something for Democrats. Give us a little hope. Try to either work with Republicans or do something in our favor. It's getting very bad for Democrats, even statistically speaking, and the polls.
I feel like over the last few weeks, there's been numerous instances of Democrats breaking out into song, and all I've been able to discern is that when Democrats are singing, Republicans are winning.
DOGE should influence government spending and operations. Look at this. 54%. The majority say that he and they should.
44% of speech watchers in our instant poll tonight say they had a very positive reaction to Trump's speech.
Look, I am not trying to form a narrative here. When you have dancing TikTok videos from Democrats and Democrats turning on other Democrats and the polls all suggesting that Donald Trump is doing a good job or he has a lot of favorability, this is the narrative.
According to reporting from our own Harry Enton at CNN, the American people also appreciate and want this effort by DOGE. So the idea that there's some mass uprising about the concept of, hey, let's look in and find the waste, fraud, and abuse is totally false.
Now look, I want to be fair here and give you guys the full picture. There are some prominent Democrats who are calling out their own colleagues saying we need to fix our look for the American public.
Republicans have been very critical of Democrats today, saying they did not stand up enough for Trump's speech during certain moments.
I mean, I don't know why we can't fully celebrate. I mean, I have a 13-year-old myself. And, I mean, thank God she's never had cancer, but I think that's something we could all celebrate that. And I think it was like it was a touching moment. And like I said, that's part of the best of the American experience.
Why not listen to John Fetterman?
Because I think John Fetterman is doing what is popular at the time.
You can leave your comments down below how you feel about Democrats calling out other Democrats, whether it's actual members of government or the media. I do find it interesting, though. The more and more approval ratings go down for Democrats, the more and more we're seeing internal critiques.
An unelected outsider coming and telling us how to run our departments. Every American should be upset by this.
It was a pleasure.
Well,
to
Joe
hear
Biden
this
was on the
conversation.
ballot
It's
one
not
time,
good.
and he never, I don't think he ever ran the country for one single day, Keith. So, you know,
I
if you're
knew
worried
that was
about
coming.
unelected people running the country, let me introduce you to the Biden-Harris administration.
And speaking of unelected officials, apparently Elon Musk has been having clashes with cabinet members, and Donald Trump shut this down real quick.
No clash. I was there. You're just a troublemaker. And you're not supposed to be asking that question. But Elon gets along great with Marco, and they're both doing a fantastic job. There is no clash.
But Mr. President, bottom line.
Who are you with? Who are you with?
NBC.
No wonder.
Now, we are seeing something a little different as far as Elon Musk. We are seeing this new argument that Elon Musk is calling out the waste, fraud, and abuse of other agencies, but why not of himself?
This guy, just to thank Donald Trump at his orders. That's waste, fraud, and abuse, not to mention the $400 million going to Elon Musk for his Cybertrucks.
Scott's rolling his eyes. Why?
Can I answer that? I just wanted to answer the criticisms. Number one, the Cybertruck deal you mentioned was made under Joe Biden and canceled by Donald Trump.
Elon Musk has apparently somehow convinced the United States government, specifically the United States Department of State, that the taxpayers of the United States of America should spend $400 million buying, quote, armored Tesla production units.
Donald Trump didn't give that contract to Elon Musk. Joe Biden gave it to him.
Now, I just want to point out the Rachel Maddow clip was from a month ago. However, I'm trying to show you guys the full picture of these talking points that are getting recycled that are not even fully true.
So let's not pretend that this is rooting out waste, fraud, and abuse. I would love to root out waste, fraud, and abuse. And there's a process to do that, and I would be happy to work with the administration to do that. That's not what Elon Musk is doing. Yeah. And notably, Anderson, somehow none of his $13 billion of government contracts he has determined to be waste, fraud, and abuse.
Now, I was curious, and you guys can form your own opinion. Again, I'm not trying to be too biased here, but when I'm scrolling through what these contracts actually are, they literally all have to do with either securing the nation, helping others have an easier life as far as communication, helping with like reconnaissance, helping with space exploration. So again, you can form your own opinion as far as how his contracts add up to waste, fraud, and abuse and other contracts.
He's throwing the working class people under the bus, throwing veterans on the bus under the bus, which is insane because almost 2/3 of them voted for him, and he doesn't care. All he wants is his tax cuts, his legacy as a gazillionaire, and respect from all the Silicon Valley bros. This country is being turned upside down, and Donald Trump is the revolutionary who's going to incite revolution if he doesn't stop this crap.
And speaking of recycled talking points, the talking point that Elon Musk is doing all of this for money, well, there's a new statistic out there that really disproves this talking point, and I think I can prove my case.
Yeah, Boris, it's taken a really very significant hit. So far this year, Elon Musk's net worth has declined by about $97 billion. That doesn't even count today's stock drop. And this makes sense because not only is Elon Musk the biggest shareholder in Tesla, Tesla accounts for a significant chunk of his wealth. But look, obviously people are not going to feel too terribly for Elon Musk because he is still the richest person in the world.
So as you can see, we have a very big flaw in the argument that Elon Musk is doing all of this for money. Even Elon Musk has admitted he's losing a lot of money, and as you saw, it's $95 billion plus. Also, Elon Musk, and Donald Trump has said this, he doesn't need to do it for money because he's literally the world's richest man by far.
Reconcile the idea of the premise of trying to stop waste, fraud, and abuse as a goal, which I think is universally lauded.
It's universally lauded, but then when you try to do it, it's universally opposed by every Democrat and every, person that's got a specific, piece of the pie in Washington, D.C. I mean, everybody says, oh, I want to do this. And then when it comes down to actually doing it, nobody actually wants to do it. So they show up and say, no, we're going to actually do it. The American people want them to do it, and they are finding things. And they need to do it. And the other thing they need to do, honestly, is build a presentation and go to Capitol Hill and talk to the Congress about what they're doing and get buy-in from the Congress and also tell the American people. That would be the next evolution of this. So, no, I don't see any disconnect here. The disconnect is all politicians say they want to do it. Only Donald Trump and Elon Musk are trying to do it. And that's why everybody in Washington is up in arms.
Now look, leave your comments down below how you feel about all of this, but Scott Jennings might be the only conservative Republican news person on television who is pushing for Elon Musk to actually have more accountability in front of Congress. The thinking is, if you expose everything that's happening, more and more Americans will actually be okay with the cuts and how people feel overall about the Trump administration. However, this next clip definitely is a very interesting conversation as well in regards to making cuts and Doge.
I would just say, don't be so cocky right now. Y'all won. You lost 6 straight years, though, after Donald Trump, to be clear. You got to win. You put a win on the board.
It was clear that he was shutting down the border, and they supported him for it.
And then when you talk to them now, they say, I didn't think it was going to impact me. But it is. Poor people, poor white people are saying, I didn't think the cuts were coming to my farm in Kansas, and now I have silos filled with grain because you closed
The Democrat Party shouldn't be talking about people in poverty. Go to California and you tell me one Republican policy that drove the highest homeless rate, the highest mental health crisis.
I'm not saying
they do
it's
nothing.
perfect.
And there's no Republican policy there. You just look at California. Thank you, Gavin Newsom. You're the biggest pitch man for why the Republican Party cares about results and getting things done and not just big talk that has failed the folks that backed them for so many years.
Now, if we're going to be honest with ourselves on this channel, and I always try for self-accountability, the lowest stat and poll has to do with like the low-hanging fruit of the everyday things that Americans get affected by, like egg prices, grocery prices, things like that. This is why you keep seeing Democrats or left-leaning media really go after these talking points, because at the end of the day, if Donald Trump doesn't figure this out, Democrats definitely will have an upper hand in the argument and conversation because they've been talking about this since day one. And I'm just trying to be honest on this channel just so you guys are aware that is the one statistic Donald Trump really needs to bring up.
And I'll tell you who they really hurt. It's a war on veterans. 30% of the civilian workforce is veteran. And a disproportionate share of the probationary, the new employees, are veterans because they career switch from the military into the civilian workforce, and then they are on probation for a year, hence easy for Trump to kick out and fire.
The job gains for native-born Americans, for American people, people born in America, exceeded job gains for migrant and foreign-born workers. This is the first time that's happened in more than 15 months.
So it's very interesting to see how you have talking points and stats that go to battle against one another. You have veterans being fired, but then Donald Trump says this is the first time in 15 months in which Americans have the most jobs ever created. They go to battle against one another. You look at the statistics, and either way, it looks like Donald Trump still wins as far as the majority of favorability of how he's handling the economy and handling the United States as a whole. Again, I just want to make a disclaimer. When I said that Donald Trump's lowest stat has to do with the economy and egg prices and all that other stuff, it doesn't mean it's that low. It just happens to be the lowest stat out of the rest of his statistics.
The Democratic Party itself is frankly an irrelevant political party. They don't have a message. Their policy positions have left cities across this country in shambles. I mean, even last night, let's just think about this for a minute. The president highlighted DJ, the young kid who's dealing with cancer survivor. They didn't even have enough decency to stand and applaud. He highlighted the mother whose daughter was killed by an illegal immigrant. They didn't stand and applaud. He talked about law enforcement, not the bad guys, but the ones who are doing good work every day across this country, keeping our cities safe. They didn't stand and applaud. It appears to me that the Democratic Party, in my personal opinion, is a party that is in chaos right now.
You think
they have no idea which direction to go.
Now, I want to leave a disclaimer. That clip is a day after when Donald Trump had his speech with Congress and the United States. However, that clip is literally still relevant today because everyone is still talking about the behavior and the post-behavior of the Democrats to not fully admit what they did wrong. However, this next clip in the conversation is rather interesting to me.
Respect. You think Democrats are going to...
absolutely.
Wait, let me say this. You think Democrats should applaud Donald Trump when he talks about law enforcement?
No, but a kid with cancer.
Stop. Let me just... No, excuse me. In that very chamber where Donald Trump's goons tried to harm the people that were sitting there and applauding Donald Trump, you want Democrats to take advice from Donald Trump about law enforcement?
It's not about taking advice, Julie. Some things should just simply be above politics. Right. And those are three instances where Democrats could have simply applauded.
I'm sorry.
You don't have to like the president to say these are good things.
This president is cutting funding for childhood cancer. You want to know what he's cutting funding for? The NIH, the CDC. He's got a wacko as the head of HHS.
Look, when I make these videos, I really try to make sure they don't sound like all of the other videos I have made. However, the media right now, the left-leaning media, Democrats, these are the same talking points we are hearing over and over and over again, and I don't have a choice but to play the clips for you and have this conversation with you. I do my best to have some self-accountability even with conservatives and Republicans because it's very healthy. Even Scott Jennings does it every single day. So again, you guys can decide how you feel about all of this. I do find it interesting though, even when you look at the stats. The more and more the polls go down for Democrats, the more and more you have these outliers of single Democrats trying to call out the issues. Anyway, if you are still watching this video, thank you so much for being here. I really, really appreciate your guys' support. God bless, and we'll see you later. Thank you.